Attention passionate Baltimore Ravens fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Baltimore Ravens' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave division rivals stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Baltimore Ravens fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Baltimore RAVENS fans. Let's get to the news for Ravens fans. The offseason is shaping up to be one of the most intriguing in recent memory, and this latest rumor could be a game changer. Word is circulating that Baltimore is in serious talks to acquire Breece Hall from the New York Jets, a move that could elevate their offense to new heights. While nothing is official yet, sources close to the franchise suggest that a deal is very close to being finalized, with the Ravens offering a first-round pick in the 2026 draft along with a second-round pick in 2027. This kind of move is bold, but in today's NFL, sometimes you have to swing big to stay competitive, especially when the division is heating up and the AFC in general is more competitive than ever. Now let's break down the potential impact of adding Breece Hall to the Ravens' backfield. The Jets, coming off a disappointing 5-12 season in 2025, are clearly in rebuild mode. They're looking to free up cap space, around $38 million in 2026, which makes sense given their current roster situation, with Aaron Rodgers dealing with a slow Achilles recovery and his rating sitting at 88. The Jets are clearly reevaluating their future. So parting ways with Hall, a dynamic young running back, fits into their plan of rebuilding with youth and cap flexibility. The Jets need assets, picks, and prospects to retool their roster, especially on defense and offensive line, as they look ahead to a more competitive future. Breece Hall, at just 25 years old, is a game breaker. His explosiveness is off the charts. He's like a lightning bolt in the backfield. His ability to cut, accelerate, and evade tackles makes him a nightmare for defenses. He's a versatile back, capable of opening up the run game and creating space for play-action passes, which is crucial for any NFL offense trying to keep defenses honest. His profile is impressive. In 2025, he played 17 games, rushing 265 times for 312 yards, averaging 50 yards per carry, and scored 10 rushing touchdowns. He also contributed as a receiver, 62 catches for 512 yards and 5 receiving TDs. His yards after contact per attempt is 3.4, and he's been a nightmare for defenders with a broken tackles rate of 72 in 2025, surpassing many of the league's top backs in that department. Looking deeper into his stats, Hall's success rate on runs is around 54%, with an EPA per rush of plus 0.15, which indicates he's consistently helping his team move the chains. His recent injury history includes a knee injury in Week 2 of 2025, which caused him to miss a game, but he came back strong, rushing for over 180 yards in 4 games after returning from injury. His overall career metrics are impressive, with a target share of 16% and a yards after contact of 512 yards in 2025, which exceeded league averages by approximately 14%. Compared to other elite RBs, Hall is especially notable for his broken tackle rate. He surpasses players like Saquon Barkley in explosiveness, and his ability to shed defenders is a major asset for the Ravens' offense. So why would the Jets be willing to trade Hall? Well, they're facing a tight cap situation, with nearly $28 million in hit for Hall alone, and they're prioritizing a youth movement along their defensive line and secondary. The injuries to Rodgers and the potential loss of Garrett Wilson in trade rumors mean they need to build for the future, and acquiring draft picks is a strategic move to accelerate their rebuild. Think back to the Dalvin Cook trade in 2023, where the Vikings shed $20 million in cap space and gained valuable picks. The Jets are in a similar position now, looking to reconfigure their roster and set themselves up for a more competitive run in the coming years. Now, for the Ravens, this move could be transformative. As of September 2025, Baltimore's record was 2-1, with Derrick Henry leading their ground game, rushing for about 120 yards per game with an average of 4.6 yards per carry. While Henry is still productive, Hall's addition promises to bring a new level of explosiveness and versatility. He's projected to surpass 500 total yards from scrimmage, with a plus 17% increase in EPA per rush, which means more efficient and effective ground attacks. His presence would open up opportunities for the Ravens, a fence to use play action more effectively, a tool that's proven to boost offensive efficiency by around 20%, with yards per attempt jumping by about 1-2 yards. In terms of gameplay impact, adding Hall would reduce the pressure on Lamar Jackson, especially on third downs, where Baltimore currently converts at roughly 48%. The red zone efficiency would also see a boost, with more touchdowns and fewer stalled drives. His ability to break tackles and gain yards after contact would allow the Ravens to extend drives and keep defenses honest, especially against tough division rivals like the Bengals or Steelers. Plus, his explosiveness would help mitigate stacked fronts defenses that load the box to stop the run, reducing their effectiveness from around 34% to about 25%, creating more breathing room for Lamar and the offensive line. Now, let's talk about the potential playoff impact. The Super Bowl odds for Baltimore, currently at +8-0, would see a significant drop to around +3-0 with Hall in the backfield. That's a huge shift in perception, making the Ravens a more formidable contender. His presence would be a true X-factor in the postseason, elevating their win probability against top-tier teams like the Chiefs, Bills, or Bengals by roughly 14% in simulated matchups. Think about the parallels with Christian McCaffrey's trade to the 49ers in 2022. That move turned San Francisco into a Super Bowl finalist, thanks in large part to McCaffrey's versatility and explosiveness. Hall's addition could do the same for Baltimore, providing a dynamic element that defenses have to account for on every snap. Furthermore, Hall's ability to contribute in multiple ways would improve Baltimore's offensive efficiency by about 15%, especially in cold weather playoff games at M&T Bank Stadium, where running the ball effectively is often the key to victory. His ability to create big plays, extend drives, and reduce turnovers makes him a perfect fit for the Ravens' identity, a team built on ground control, play action, and strong defense. Deep dive into Baltimore Ravens' historical context and future expectations. The Baltimore Ravens, established in 1996, have long been a franchise synonymous with stout defense, innovative coaching, and a commitment to a gritty, physical style of play. Their history is punctuated with 2 Super Bowl championships, 2000, 2012, multiple AFC North titles, and a reputation for developing elite defenses and tough, versatile players. The Ravens' defensive identity was solidified with Hall of Fame linebacker Ray Lewis, whose leadership and instinctive playmaking set the tone for the entire franchise for over a decade. Since then, the team has continued to evolve, balancing a solid defense with innovative offensive strategies, particularly under head coach John Harbaugh and offensive coordinator Todd Monken. In recent years, the Ravens have been somewhat defined by their quarterback situation. Lamar Jackson, the 2019 NFL MVP, has been the centerpiece of their offensive identity, an elusive, dynamic playmaker capable of turning broken plays into big gains. Jackson's unique skill set as a dual-threat quarterback has kept defenses guessing, and his ability to extend plays has been instrumental in Baltimore's offensive success. However, injuries have hampered his consistency, and the team has sought to diversify its offensive weapons to maximize their playoff potential. The addition of a player like Breece Hall could be seen as a strategic move to complement Lamar Jackson's skill set. By bolstering the running game with a proven, explosive back, Baltimore could reduce the pressure on Jackson to carry the entire offensive load, especially in the postseason. The Ravens' offensive philosophy has always revolved around controlling the clock, establishing the run, and making timely plays, traits that Hall embodies perfectly. His ability to pick up tough yards and make defenders miss would be crucial in tight playoff battles, where every yard counts. Statistics and analysis of Ravens' recent performance looking at the 2025 season, Baltimore's offensive metrics reveal areas for growth. The team averaged 21.4 points per game, ranking 15th in the league, with a yards per play average of 5.4, placing them around the middle of the pack. Their rushing attack, led by Derrick Henry, averaged 124 yards per game, which was respectable but not elite. Meanwhile, their passing game has faced challenges, partly due to injuries and inconsistent offensive line play, resulting in a 58% third down conversion rate, slightly below league average. Defensively, Baltimore has continued to be a formidable unit, ranking top 10 in points allowed and total yards surrendered. Their pass rush, anchored by Odafe Oweh and Kyle Hamilton's versatility, has generated consistent pressure, but their secondary has occasionally been vulnerable, especially against top-tier quarterbacks. The addition of Hall, a running back with a high yards-after-contact figure, could help balance the offense, enabling the team to sustain drives and control the clock, ultimately improving their win-loss record. Expectations for the upcoming seasons asterisk if the Ravens successfully acquire Breece Hall, their outlook for 2026 and beyond becomes markedly more optimistic. The AFC North is increasingly competitive, with the Cincinnati Bengals led by Joe Burrow, the Pittsburgh Steelers retooling their offense, and the Cleveland Browns making significant investments in their roster. In this environment, the Ravens need to maximize every advantage, and adding Hall could be a cornerstone move. With Hall, Baltimore's offensive scheme could shift to a more balanced approach, mixing their potent play-action passing with an effective ground game. This would not only help Lamar Jackson extend plays and make better reads, but also create mismatches against defenses stacking the box to stop the run. The Ravens could aim for a top-5 rushing attack, which has historically correlated with playoff success and deep runs. On defense, Baltimore would likely focus on maintaining their aggressive style, leveraging the added offensive stability to keep opponents off the field. If they can improve their third-down defense and force more turnovers, their chances of making a deep playoff push increase dramatically. Deeper player analysis and impact let's examine Breece Hall's style of play in more detail. His acceleration out of cuts is exceptional, allowing him to turn small gaps into big gains. His vision is also outstanding. He consistently finds the right holes and can adapt quickly to defensive shifts. His contact balance is elite, enabling him to stay upright and gain extra yards after initial contact. His broken tackle rate in 2025 of 72 surpasses many of his peers, including Saquon Barkley and Jonathan Taylor, indicating his ability to shed tacklers in tight spaces. On the Jets, Hall's role was pivotal in their offensive scheme, especially in the stretch zone and outside runs. His versatility as a receiver out of the backfield adds another dimension, allowing the Jets to run screens, checkdowns, and swing passes that turn into big gains. For Baltimore, his ability to execute in the passing game would be invaluable, especially given the team's history of effective play-action passing and Lamar Jackson's threat as a runner. Additional strategic considerations, the Ravens' coaching staff would need to tailor their offensive schemes to maximize Hall's talents. This could involve more outside zone runs, utilizing his speed and agility, and designing plays that create one-on-one matchups in space. They might also incorporate more dual-back sets, with Henry and Hall sharing carries to keep defenses guessing and to manage workload and durability. Defensively, Baltimore's opponents would have to adjust their game plans to account for Hall's explosiveness. Stacking the box to stop the run might become less effective if Hall can break free for big plays. This could open up more opportunities for the secondary to make plays on the ball, especially with the Ravens' established pass rush and secondary playmakers like Kyle Hamilton and Marlon Humphrey. Historical significance and future outlook. The Ravens' history has been built on strategic draft choices, disciplined coaching, and a culture of resilience. Their decision to acquire Hall would be remembered as a bold move, perhaps comparable to their acquisition of Ray Lewis in the late 1990s or their bold drafts that led to Super Bowl victories. It signifies a franchise that is willing to invest in immediate success while maintaining long-term sustainability. Looking ahead, if Baltimore can keep their core players healthy and integrate Hall effectively into their scheme, they could become perennial contenders. The AFC is wide open, especially with the Chiefs adjusting to life after Patrick Mahomes' injury struggles, the Bills facing uncertainty, and the Bengals' window possibly closing if Joe Burrow's injury history persists. Baltimore, with a potent combination of veteran leadership, emerging talent, and strategic moves like this trade, could position itself as the team to beat. Conclusion. In summary, the potential acquisition of Breece Hall by the Baltimore Ravens is a move that could redefine the franchise's future. It's a calculated risk, driven by the need to stay competitive amid a fierce AFC landscape. Hall's explosive ability, combined with Lamar Jackson's dynamic playmaking, could create a nightmare scenario for defenses and propel Baltimore deep into the playoffs. The move also signifies a broader shift in the NFL, where teams are increasingly valuing versatile, multi-dimensional backs who can impact every phase of the game. As fans, we should be excited about the possibilities. The Ravens have always been about grit, resilience, and strategic brilliance, traits that Hall embodies. His addition would not only bolster their offense, but also send a message across the league. Baltimore is back, and they're here to contend for championships once again. So, Ravens Nation, stay tuned, stay passionate, and keep believing. The upcoming season promises to be one of the most exciting in recent memory. And remember, I'll be here every step of the way to bring you the latest updates, insights, and in-depth analysis on your favorite team. Let's go Ravens!